All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Legend of the Three Kingdoms. Yes, this is one of my homebrew D&D campaigns set in my weird, messed up homebrew D&D campaign setting, and the people below me are the people that I'm going to go out on a limb here and say probably remember more of the last session than I do right now because my brain's not working. So recap's going to be weird today. Announcements. Brennan Lee Mulligan's a dad, and he announced it, and it's super cool, and he's an awesome guy. So
For the life of me, I was looking for it. I couldn't find it on his social media. I was like, I hope I find it.
Again, I believe the quote-unquote announcement was in some D&D commentary or something. I don't think he technically has ever officially said it anywhere other than there, but everyone on the internet is talking about it, and he's a super cool dude. So,
Yep. He and Izzy Rock.
Yeah.
so yeah, cool things happening there. Apparently, Critical Role got sick. And so, like last week or the week before, I can't remember which, they just
Last
made
week.
they just made characters in Baldur's Gate 3, and that was remarkably entertaining.
That was it. I remember people got upset about it. Like, hey, so what are you guys actually going to play? It's like, dude, we said straight off from the bat, we're just making characters. That's all this is going to be.
The only issue I had with it is the Baldur's Gate 3 character creator is not great for just creating characters.
That's really good, though, in some regard.
It's good. No, it's
I'm
good.
going to be salty about... I tried to make Relwyn. I did make Relwyn. I'm playing Relwyn in Baldur's Gate 3. They don't... I don't know what the issue is with blue skin. Blue skin is not blue in that fucking game. He's more of a... I had to make him more of a purple.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a saturation thing or if it's a lighting thing, but all of the blues don't look blue to me.
Yeah. You
But,
can go with a purple or go kind of a gray tone, and you'll get something along those lines.
But no, like if you compare it to something like the ESO character creator, you just have more options.
I love the eyes. Oh God, the eyes are...
Yeah. So but anyway, that was super fun. I'm trying to think if there's anything big happening in tabletop world. I'm kind of coming up. I'm drawing a blank. Does anyone know anything big happening? Like most of the big Kickstarters are already over. MCDM has given exactly one update after his award-winning Kickstarter, which was, hey, you're probably not going to get updates for a little bit because we're making a game. So we'll be back when it's closer to done.
I don't. It's not. It's pseudo related. Midst is they announced their third and final season of their
Oh,
podcast.
they still do. So
It's good.
we're going to play today, I promise. However, I have to talk about Midst because I've heard some people that absolutely adore it. I tried to get into it, and the kind of improvisational nature of it just doesn't work for me. Because it just feels, I don't know, it just feels too much.
I don't know. It's like I'm involved in the story.
I don't know, maybe I need to watch more episodes of that, but it feels really awkward to me, and I don't know why.
That and Worlds Beyond Number, great.
I've never listened to that one. Also, there is a tabletop RPG called Worlds Beyond Number. Or maybe it's Stars Beyond. No, I think it is Worlds Beyond Number. And every time somebody talks about the game, I get it confused with the tabletop RPG, thinking, oh, they're using this system because it's a really interesting system. And they're not, and it annoys me. Like, somebody, do your research before you name your shit the exact same name as something else. There should be...
I think you're thinking of Worlds Without Number.
That's what it is. It's Worlds Beyond Number is the show.
Podcast.
Worlds Without Number is the tabletop RPG. And it confuses me every single time.
I had to look it up because I was like, well, wouldn't that be a...
Yeah, it should be a
copyrighted too?
trademark.
Like,
No, it wouldn't be copyrighted. It'd be trademark. Because you can't copyright...
it's a legal problem.
You can't copyright a single sentence or a phrase. It has to be trademarked. And trademark law is bad. Like, copyright law, you'll get a copyright strike. Trademark law, you will be sued into oblivion. So yeah, cool stuff happening. I'm daily vlogging, and my last few daily vlogs have all been about tabletop RPG game design because I'm fixated on it. Today we talked about whether your RPG is a Gary Chalk or a Ron Perlman. And if you don't get that reference, in Beast Wars, Optimus Primal was voiced by Gary Chalk, who's an amazing voice actor. In the new Rise of the Beasts movie, Optimus Prime is voiced by Ron Perlman. Because he did it when they revived the character of Optimus Primal in a more recent Transformers series. And the reason they used Ron Perlman instead of Gary Chalk, despite the fact that Gary Chalk originated Optimus Primal, was because, first of all, Ron Perlman is Ron Perlman, and he's a really big name, and it draws people in. Second of all, the character of Gary Chalk's Optimus Primal was fun, and he made jokes. And Ron Perlman's was very serious, because Ron Perlman is a serious actor. And if you watch Rise of the Beasts, I highly recommend you don't. But if you don't take my advice and watch this dumpster fire of a movie, Optimus Primal, I don't believe understands what a joke is. I think he had that aspect of his spark. All of the funny parts of his spark were removed. And he is the most serious character ever. He's the guy that at the party when you're all, throwing back brewskis, he's, quoting, drunk driving death statistics. So anyway, I had a whole video talking about you need to kind of take the temperature of, because both of those are viable options. You can have a very serious style campaign, or you can have a much more comical campaign, or something in between. But you do, as a GM, need to kind of understand what your players are expecting from the campaign and what you are expecting from the campaign, and lean into it. I would describe this group as much more Gary Chalk than Ron Perlman. And it doesn't mean we can't have really good, serious role-playing here. It's just one of you lights everything on fire.
I mean, yes.
I'm shocked by this accusation.
So, anyway, also, Gary Chalk is a super, super awesome voice actor, and he was also on Stargate SG-1 as the Russian dude. He was the Russian. I don't think he was a general. I think he was a colonel. But yeah, when Stargate had to start partnering with Russia because Russia owned the gate, he was General Korolov or something like that, and he would talk like this the entire time, and I had no idea he was not Russian. He's also Canadian.
FYI, there was a Stargate game that launched yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, there was, and a lot of people are upset about it because it pitched itself as a real-time strategy, and it's not. It's a stealth game. Yep. And I'm super excited that
What?
You have to play the game. It uses the same engine as a couple other games that have come out that don't pitch themselves as real-time strategy games.
Real-time strategy I get, but it's like a stealth game?
Yeah, what you do is you'll have a small team of like 4 people, and they have to go around knocking out serpent guards and stuff like that to get to the objective. And so it's all about stealth, but it's done in real time. And so you have to kind of move between bushes, and it shows you like all that. So it's very much a stealth game, but it uses a real-time strategy interface to move the characters. Like, you can drag multiple characters, and
I can get behind a turn-based, like XCOM, for example. I can totally see it being played like that. It's just when I think of Stargate, I don't think of sneaky.
oh, there were tons of episodes. Like the finale of season
know,
1,
there's, like,
they had to
scenes where they have
sneak
to, like,
around the entire.
Some episodes, sure, but like most of them were like, okay, we're going to take position and
then blow stuff up. I know it's a weird thing for a Stargate game, But and a lot of people said it should have been turn-based. But if you can get past that, my understanding is it's not a bad stealth game.
But anyway, sorry for derailing.
No. I'm
RPG.
very much upset that there are not more. There was a Stargate MMO that was going to be coming out, and it was going to be amazing. And then it got canceled, and I'm still bitter about that. It's been like a decade. Also, I'm still bitter about Stargate Universe getting canceled because it was awesome. And just because it didn't have explosions doesn't mean it wasn't a good show.
I thought you were going to say the Firefly video game.
No, we don't talk about that. There was another Stargate game that I think it's called Stargate The Ascension or something like that, It made it to like the early beta stages, and it was just so bad. Stargate is cool. There's a Stargate RPG. I've played it. My buddy Elias GM'd it, and he does the best Colonel O'Neill impression I have ever seen. Mostly because Elias is Colonel O'Neill for the most part. All right. You guys want to play some Dungeons and or Dragons?
Yes.
Did they? No, they didn't. All right. Sorry, I thought they got rid of all of my whoosy-whatsits. My folders when they changed the stuff in Roll20. Anyway.
Well, they changed the compendium, but...
Yeah. So, it is time to return.
RPG news, they updated...
Oh, yeah. They updated the compendium in Roll20. And we had a short conversation where we basically said, yeah, if you're running pre-made stuff, buying it on Roll20 is really, really nice. If you're not, your experience may vary. All right, so it is time to return to the legend of the Three Kingdoms. The party has continued to explore this deserted mansion. After dealing with corpse snakes that were dropped upon them, the party decided instead of attempting to discover the person that had attempted to attack them, it would be better for them to explore the rest of the mansion and discover exactly what was happening. They first found a few rooms that had been repurposed for strange means, and eventually found an arboretum completely overgrown with massive plants. Eventually, they were able to discover that the plants had effectively absorbed a strange giant-sized potion that seemed to correlate with the increased growth. After leaving the area, they went up a level and they found a performance hall with music that was mostly faded but seemed to be written for a particular person. But the music hall had not been used in many, many, many years. Eventually they made it to the top floor and they found the living residence of the wealthy family that used to live there. Started piecing together more ideas. Apparently there was a patronage system with a local musician, and one of the rooms had been locked for many years. And that is where we return.
And Jody left out the part where we just inadvertently just turned it into an episode of Full House. He got very pissed off at the end of the session.
No, because that never happened.
Hey, cut it out.
And then you suddenly feel an earthquake and the entire building collapses on you. You take 47 D12 damage and you're all dead.
And we create new characters and it's Fuller House.
I will set you all ablaze.
Hey, that's my line.
So, to get us back in specifically with what's happening, and because my memory is really, really bad this week, quick reminders for me of the stuff that you guys did. You went down into the performance hall.
We were all over the place.
Yeah. You found the harpsichord, right?
Down the harpsichord.
Yes.
And then there was
yeah.
a thing, and you guys found some sheet music that was signed, right?
Harold Benign.
Yep. And then you went upstairs, and I can't remember what you guys found in the upper room. For some
Let's see. Second here. We found the room with there was half painted minis. There was the whole Beetlejuice, miniature table, and we found out we lifted it up, and there was actually a subterranean.
Oh yeah, you guys
thing hidden
found
underneath that.
the tunnels.
So yeah, Second City underneath. There was a temple thing under access. Looks like under the general store. We might want to check out later. Vala found a crystalline chess set pieces. Couldn't take the table because apparently that was attached to the floor.
And
Found
then
a
the
library.
pieces just disappeared for some odd reason. Nobody knows where they went.
Yeah, 2,000 to 3,000 platinum worth. I think Val's gonna you have to make a strength check to take that. There was the library.
Well, they were made of diamond and literal platinum, which was the two sets. So one set was literally
One side was
carved
precious
diamonds.
gems. The other half was precious metals.
Yeah. So
There's the library. There was basically the smoking room. Then there was the map room, plant room. On the other side of the floor, there was the theater. On the second floor, and the third floor had the the owner's suite. There was a kid's room, the locked room for we're presuming the lady of the house. Kind of in the vanity thing. We noticed a vanity. There was a writing table, a walk-in closet, servant's entrance. And the last note was people lived here. That not benign is the House of Courier. And then we would have started playing the theme music from Full House if it wouldn't get on as a strike. So we had to end it there.
okay, so you guys are currently in the third floor, in the kind of, I guess, lounge, off of the master bedroom, and the kids' room are further down the hall. But there's this kind of lounge area. So what do you all want to do?
Sorry, just right now I'm doing everything in my power not to make a episode joke, and I'm gonna acknowledge there's still a snake person running around.
Oh,
So that's still a concern. I don't know if there's any other rooms on this floor, or is this we've explored all the rooms on the third floor?
Yeah, this is the last one. So you've effectively now explored the entire house. The house is basically kind of like a long manor house. It doesn't go back too far, but it spreads pretty far wide.
There's a question about if there's anything hidden here, like any of these other rooms.
Yeah, if you guys want to try and find hidden stuff, anyone that wants to can make an investigation check.
one, two.
Okay. So as far as in the lounge, it seems like there's really not a whole lot of places where there could be something hidden in here, and the few places that there could be some kind of hidden door or room or something, you check pretty thoroughly, and as far as you can tell, there's really nothing here.
kind of gone between the west wing and the east wing.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we want to go. I don't know. We've been up on every floor on the east wing too.
Yeah.
I
So
believe.
basically, the second floor was guest quarters. And you guys found the bed in the final guest quarters had the trap door to the butcher room. And then the third floor was the the house staff. And that was the one where the entire floor could dip and send literally everyone on the floor down to the butcher room.
The Domo's room.
Yeah. And the Domo's room was the only one that didn't dip.
Yeah.
And now there is a large Argenta's foot-shaped hole in that door.
Do we want to go check out that room?
I thought we had. Well, not all of us, obviously, but I thought it was checked
Argenta
out.
looked into it.
There was a cigar.
There was a candle that had recently been extinguished. It was still smoking.
I may 100% have just thought about Young Frankenstein just then, so sorry about that.
But no one's actually been in the room because Argenta broke the door.
Put the candle back.
There are ways into that room.
Well, and Argenta wanted to get to where you guys had just fallen, so...
Right. There were more pressing concerns.
And of course, there was the desecrated room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could Misty Step into that room and potentially Misty Step out.
I think Argenta went into it too, because didn't you phase step into it?
I might have.
Yeah.
I remember Argenta was the only one who didn't get taken downstairs, and actually, as I recall,
because Argenta was stuck in the door.
Yeah, and did like a crunch to like keep him getting decapitated.
Argenta got them core muscles.
Pretty much.
So, what do you guys want to do? I mean, I'm a fan of dead air just as much as anyone else is, but...
Well, we have really two options, really. We can go looking for our snake friend if they're still in the house at this point, or we can also go outside and investigate the very smelly garden with the plant life that gives me a very uneasy feeling.
Counter proposal: we just burn down everything and let the Dark Lady sort it out.
The problem is, it's the Dark Lady that we're trying to help and get answers for.
All right.
I just don't know if there's any answers to be gained from the garden. But we got answers from the graveyard. We weren't intending to, but. And then there's also obviously whatever the table was referencing with underground, some type of city beneath this town.
Right. We could go check that out. Well, we've searched this half of this wing of the house and not found any sign of Snake Man. We could go back and reinvestigate the other wing and see if there's any signs of him there.
If we feel we're capable if we have the idea of tracking him.
I'm not the best at tracking people.
I can try and track him, but I just don't know how many footprints get left inside of this house.
Right. We get rid of
There was also at one point when we first came in here, there was evidence of, we thought of animal type of something or other when we first came in. They very quickly, because I remember there was definitely a bird that flew in and very quickly hid. And I think we saw it. There has definitely been evidence of vermin being in this house.
Right.
If I remember correctly, we did see him peer in on the from the room that drops down that Argento originally went into. So we could go back there and see if he's left a trail or something.
I think it's as good a place to start as any.
All right.
Maybe also consider resting if we can't. Obviously, I'm not saying resting here. Just putting that out.
Oh, I mean, I could use a power nap.
This
An
point,
8-hour long power nap.
that's just a sleep. That's just sleep.
Put it this way: I could Misty Step in and then Misty Step out, and then I have 4 first-level spells. I saw the GM smirk.
I have spell slots. That's all I'm saying.
That's at least 2. That's plural. All right, let's go check out that room where we know he was.
Okay. So, leaving the parlor, coming back to the main entryway, and then going down a floor and across, you guys come to the room with the kind of trap bed. And you notice the room itself has an odor to it now. It's not incredibly strong, but it does have that kind of decaying meat scent to it. You can see there are some stains on the bed itself that are kind of a rust brown and greenish color.
Probably where the snakes were put before they were dumped in.
Aside from that, nothing in the room has really changed.
Is there any sort of like, because I know this is inside, so it's not as apparent, but is there any like boot prints or shoe prints that were left?
Looking around, this room in and of itself is actually remarkably clean aside from the bed itself. And so there's nothing that would leave a print on the floor unless the shoe had something on it like dirt or something. And as far as you can tell, you don't see any footprints or anything.
All right.
What else would you guys like to do?
Well, there's no evidence here. Again, I guess it boils down to if we want to. I don't know where we would go from here. You all would be the experts in tracking a person. Unless anyone has any ideas on how to do that, then it seems our options are now the garden or we go back to town.
Well, they say we're here. We might as well check out the garden.
Okay. So as you guys are leaving the room, as soon as you close the door, the air itself just feels better. Despite the fact that the scent was not particularly strong in that room, it was still an unsettling scent to be around. And so the further away from it you walk, the better you start to feel. You eventually come to the foyer and go out back into the kind of overgrown topiary-infused garden area, and you have to kind of wind your way through a few paths until you start smelling that very familiar scent of actively rotting vegetables and plant matter and meat and things like that. And you eventually come to this extremely overgrown garden. Again, the stench here is so incredibly strong that you have to actually kind of fight back the urge to just retch. and you can see in this garden there is one kind of large, bulbous, for lack of a better term, it almost looks like a swollen, kind of infected wound more than anything else. And it grows, it's relatively massive, easily grows up to about 10 or 12 feet tall, and it's probably in the neighborhood of about like 5 to 7 feet wide. And then since the last time you guys came here, the only thing you really did was you saw this massive plant in the center. You didn't really take a lot of time to look around the rest of it, but you can see there are other kind of misshapen plant shaped entities. Some of them look like dead trees and stuff like that. Others of them look to be incredibly vibrant with life, but it's not a kind of life that would appeal to anyone alive. You'll see flowers that are growing that have this kind of putrid yellow and green color to their petals, and bits of some highly viscous liquid kind of dripping off of them. You can see vines intertwined and society them with little thorns on them that are also leaking this strange kind of vibrant purple liquid that trails itself down the vines into the ground. You can see the grass underneath these plants has a very kind of vibrant purple color to it as well, that tends to radiate outward from the edges of the blades of grass into the center of it, where the center is for the most part green, but the outside of it seems to be purple and blue, or purple-ish.
Yeah, I meant, was there, I think, was there mention of like a lot of roots and vines on the ground?
Yep. Some of them...
Do they all lead to the bulb or away from the bulb, or is it just, they're just all over?
The vast majority of the roots seem to, they may not lead directly to the bulb, but they look connected in some way. They look to be made of this similar plant. They go beneath the ground, so you can't trace them completely, and some of them are growing in kind of odd directions that wouldn't point towards the plant. But they look to be made of the same material as the plant, if that makes sense. And then the few that aren't are more akin to the flowers that are dripping with that purple stuff, and the actual flowers themselves are dripping this kind of greenish liquid. So 2 different kinds of vines and root growth. The ones with the purple liquid have thorns on them. The ones that are coming from the bulbous plant are smooth, very akin to like tree roots.
I would like to find a rock on the ground
Sure.
and just kind of underhand toss it at the big bulb thing.
Okay. As the rock hits the bulbous thing, you watch it impact a little and drop, and you see ripples in the flesh of the plant just kind of undulate for a little while.
Hmm.
Yeah, where the lock landed, because I can do up to a range of 30 feet. I can use thaumaturgy. I'll just make that spot harmless tremors. See if plant life reacts to that as well, or maybe just intensifies what already happened.
So, just so I understand, you're trying to make tremors on the ground, right? Where
Yes,
the rock
where the lock landed.
Okay. So just so you're aware, when the rock hit the plant, most of the force was absorbed by the plant, so it dropped like right next to the plant.
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking for if there's any kind of a reaction from that as well.
So as you make these kind of harmless to tremors in the area. The plant itself doesn't technically react, but whatever material the kind of main body of this plant is, very similar but in a much smaller degree to what happened when the rock hit it. You can see the tremors cause this kind of undulating wave to kind of travel up and down the plant.
I would like to cast Mage Hand
Mm-hmm.
and have it do a thing like
Oh,
it
literally
down on the
thing.
ground. Yeah.
Okay.
And just have it kind of like walking around the plants and see.
So as your mage hand kind of walks around and stuff, nothing really happens as far as you can tell. You do notice when it steps on any of the kind of hard tree roots like things from the large bulbous plant, they seem really solid. Again, very akin to like if you've ever seen like an oak tree where the roots have kind of broken the ground and they're like hard as a rock, and same basic principle. If it does walk on any of the kind of thorny ones, those have a lot of give to them.
Yeah. It will go up to the big bulbous thing and just kind of whack. And then kind of like poke.
And
See if
again,
anything.
as it does that, you can see these kind of undulating waves go through it like it's full of some kind of jelly-like liquid, or jelly-like gel, not really a liquid. Suddenly the wall next to it explodes and you hear, "Oh yeah!"
Oh no.
Everyone roll for copyright strike. No. It just, again, every time, and the plant itself is not completely this kind of bulbous, undulating mass. There are kind of sections of it where it seems significantly more firm, but the vast majority of the plant is this weird kind of jelly, spongy material that is contained within, as far as you can tell, a semi-translucent sac almost.
I don't know. Seems safe, guys. I think we can just.
Yeah, this looks good to me. I don't think we're gonna need anything, but to bring the house up to code, that's gonna be a whole thing. So. What do y'all want to do?
Does anyone have I can't remember. Does anyone have an ability to speak to like plant life?
Not until I get more spell slots. And I think I cast it here before, and it wasn't really a plant.
I could try detect thoughts. And see if I sense anything, but if it's a plant. But it's not a plant. So, you know what? I'm going to use a second level spell slot and cast Detect Thoughts.
All right. Is there a save involved in that? It's only if you delve further, right?
You initially learn the surface thoughts of the creature.
Okay. And
So,
if you try to
if I-
delve any further, then there's a save.
Correct.
So
It needs to have an intelligence of higher than 3.
So, as you kind of peer into the mind of this thing, you don't detect any surface thoughts, but something feels odd about it. Normally, like if you used it on like a rock or something, the spell just wouldn't work. This, you can tell the spell is working, but you're not detecting any surface thoughts, which is weird. Until you realize that the surface thoughts that you're detecting are simply this strange kind of buzzing humming sound. Just this that continues on the exact same pitch without stopping.
Mage hand is concentration, isn't it? No, it isn't. Well, concentrating on that, I'm going to use Mage Hand
Okay.
and slap the sack. Does that hum change?
No.
Want to
Do I
try and
s-
go deeper?
Well, but before I do I sense any other senses or creatures in the area?
Good question.
I believe it is limited to 60 feet.
And they have to have an intelligence above 3 for it to detect them, right?
Correct. Or sorry, it is 30 feet.
See, from where you are right now, you detect the bulbous plant and one of the kind of dead tree pile of stick looking things kind of gives off some vibes. But
Right.
if it's only 30 feet, that's all you find.
Okay. I'll tell everybody, hey, I'm getting thoughts from the tree stump and the bulbous thing. It doesn't make sense, but I'm gonna jack in and go deeper.
Okay. What's your save?
Wisdom 19.
Oh, this will go super well. Well, I rolled a 6. So,
And I get
as you start delving deeper, you don't detect thoughts per se as much as you feel emotions from this thing. You feel this kind of ravenous hunger from it. You start seeing kind of vague images of humanoid forms slowly kind of dissolving. You hear the sounds of bones breaking. And suddenly you hear in your voice as if someone has entered your mind and just started screaming at the top of their lungs, "Enough!" And I'm on the wrong page. Hold, please. Does a 24 hit? Well, I should roll again because of advantage. Yeah, does a 24 hit your armor class?
yes.
Cool. You take 11 points of slashing damage. We're going to try this again. You take 11 points of slashing damage as soon as you hear that enough, one of the tree root like vines bursts out of the ground next to you and instantly wraps itself around your body, starting to kind of cut into you. You are also grappled and restrained. And I would like everyone to roll initiative for me.
I will do that. Can I also use a hellish rebuke?
You are more than welcome to.
Huzzah.
What's the save on that?
Dexterity.
Thank you.
Dexterity 19.
Well, I rolled a 3, which turns into a 2, because it's a damn plant.
Yeah. So, we roll for damage. It's going to be 2d10 plus, I believe, 10. So 16 damage.
Where do you get the plus 10 from?
The damage on here says 2d10 plus 5. Plus, I have that feature that lets me add my charisma modifier to 1 fire damage roll per turn.
Show off.
Why do you think I light everything on fire?
I mean, valid point. Okay, remember that damage for me because I have to hit the start button on the encounter before I can change hit points.
Yes.
So, what do we got for initiative? Rowan?
21.
Vala?
18.
Argenta?
19.
And there is currently no Lillian. Alright, so... What was the damage again?
16.
Thank you. Alright, so Rowan, you are up first. As you look around, this kind of moldy garden thing kind of springs to life. And you can see whatever this strange thing that now has Vala grappled is in the center is now kind of ripping up parts of the ground, and you can see 4 kind of tendrils coming out of it, one of which is attached to Vala.
Because we're from a distance, so this is like by us, not the bulk, right? Or did it grab Vala and pull it closer?
It has a 20-foot reach, and the garden that you're in is not much bigger than about 40 feet by 40 feet, and it's in the direct center, so it can reach everywhere in the garden.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. Re-looking at that spell, I think I already had the plus 5 added in.
Okay, so just remove 5 damage.
Correct. Sorry about that.
Works for me. Because I thought the plus 10 just sounded weird. So in addition to the large bulbous plant, you can see the thing that Vala had pointed to before is starting to kind of get up, and it's vaguely bipedal in its appearance, but it's all kind of broken twigs and branches. You can see behind the creature there are 2 more of those things, and then you can also see those kind of dripping thorn vines are kind of undulating throughout the place as well. So, what do you want to do first, Rowan?
So the bulb thing's coming up out of the ground. We don't know what it is, but it looks like it's coming up.
The plant itself isn't, but it seems to have tentacles coming out of the ground now.
Okay.
The plant itself seems relatively rooted in place currently.
I think what I'm gonna do is... Okay, if they're all connected, I think the only thing I can really... I'm hoping it's everything's connected, because I do not want to get close to that thing. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over... Vala's right next to me, I'm presuming, so I'm just going to go over there, and I'm just going to touch the tentacle that's grappling Vala, and I'm going to cast Blight on it.
Well, you're not invited to its birthday party anymore. If I remember correctly with Blight, I'm going to try this again. With Blight, is it an attack roll or is it a save?
It's a save. If it's a plant, it has disadvantage and it takes max damage.
Yeah.
If it's a plant.
I'm going to put it in 20 chat, by the way.
Yeah. So this is looks like a plant, but isn't a plant in that particular aspect. So it's still going to take damage. It's just not going to have the disadvantage on it. So what's the save?
Constitution 20.
Oh, cool. Constitution is one of the few things this plant has. And still rolled an 18. So go ahead and roll damage for me.
Okay. So
This
that
is
way
going
it'll
hurt.
be necrotic. And not too bad. 26 points of necrotic damage.
How is it as much as I thought it would be? Cool. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
If that at all helped at all in the tentacle I cast it on, does that help get Vala out of it, or is it still grappling her?
So, God, I keep clicking on the wrong damn thing. It doesn't look like it. It looks like as the kind of blight went along that, whatever this creature is, because as soon as you kind of grabbed the vine and you saw the kind of like blisters and things. First things first, you've cast blight on plants before. They kind of wither and die. This, when you cast it on blight, was much more akin to what happens when you cast blight on a human, which is you see these large kind of blisters start forming. You see like rashes and burns start spreading on this vine, which looked very, very weird. But you watched as the blisters and burn marks basically got worse and worse. You watched they just kind of traveled down the vine and started appearing on the undulating mass of it. Whatever this thing is, it seems to kind of draw wounds to the main body.
Okay. I don't know if it's released Vala at all or not.
It hasn't.
Okay. I'll look to our Argentas. Like, I'm guessing we don't like, because obviously looking at the dripping, oozing stuff that's all around, didn't seem to be as effective as I would have liked, and we definitely want to get out of here. So, yes, Vala. So Vala can cast Fireball.
Is that the end of your turn then?
Yes.
Argenta, what you want to do?
So is there more than one plant, or are they all like connected?
It seems that there's 3 different kinds of things. There's the pustule thing in the middle. There is the flowers themselves with the thorns, and then there are 3 of these strange, like, dead tree-looking things. So grand total of 5 different creatures of 3 different types. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And one of them has Vala at the moment.
Yep, the big pustule thing in the middle of the place has Vala restrained.
I have 1 charge left on my cape, so I'm gonna point at it and we're gonna shadow transition.
Okay. Which one are you
The
pointing at?
one grappling Vala.
Shit. Okay. Trying to figure out how this works. I'm going to say the charge isn't used because the creature is too large to fit in a 30 by 30 foot cube.
Okay, is my bonus action used?
No, you're just not able to do it.
Well, then I'll get angry and I'll rage.
Okay.
And I guess I'm just gonna charge it and attack twice.
Okay, go for it. It was really cool. Go ahead and take inspiration, but it's too big for it to fit in there. Isn't what the problem is?
All right. Attacking recklessly.
Okay.
The first one is a. What is my bonus? 23 to hit.
Misses. Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, I'm working it. This. And this. 15 damage.
15. Okay.
Yep. And then the second attack. Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit. Go and roll the
Alright.
damage.
Uh, 14 damage.
14. Cool. So, as Vala, as you move forward, what weapon are you using for this again?
My dagger.
Okay, so as you move forward, you guys watch as the veins kind of just bulge on Vala. As you watch as Vala kind of focuses on the plant, and grabs her cloak, and you watch as she just briefly kind of blinks into shadow and then doesn't. And you see her get extremely angry, come forward, and just plunge it into this creature. And as you plunge it the first time, you are hit with this wave of noxious gas. And as you pull your hand out, you can see this just kind of disgusting slurry of bits of biological matter and gel and feces and all this stuff just kind of starts leaking out. And then you stab it again, and another one of these holes appears and starts covering you in this. This is stuff when your arm kind of starts to itch a bit as this is on there. But it doesn't seem to be doing any damage to you as of yet. Anything else you want to do?
Nope, that's my turn.
Cool. While you are there, some of the flowers, one of the group of flowers nearby starts kind of rustling and just literally gets up and starts rushing towards you. And it is going to try to attack you with some of its kind of flowery, thorny vines.
Right.
So first attack is a nat 1, so you can ignore that. Oh, it gets advantage though.
Yeah,
That turns into a 19.
that does hit.
Okay, so you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage and 10 points of poison damage as it kind of wraps these vines around you and constricts you, and then the poison starts to leak into your veins.
All right.
And then the second attack is a 13 versus your armor class.
Nope.
So the second one is it tries to kind of wrap around you, pull your arm away. And that is all it can do. Vala, what you want to do?
Vala gets super excited because she heard Fireball,
Mm-hmm.
and then saw Argenta rush in and went, ah. Oh.
Just do it. That's what she'll say.
That is the most barbarian-y rage thing I've heard, so Vala's going to cast Fireball.
Now,
Your
I will
healer
mention.
is running low.
I will mention. You are currently restrained.
I know you can still cast when you're restrained.
I was about to say it doesn't stop you from. Yeah, it doesn't stop you. So okay, cool. Yeah, it's gonna hit everything. Bunch of dex saves. All right, let's start with the flower. They're all dex saves, right?
Correct. Dex
And
19.
it's 19. Flower
Yes.
fails. Tree 1
Alright.
fails.
Argenta just makes it with a 19.
Cool. Tree 2 fails. Tree 3 fails. The big thing in the middle. He gets closer. He gets a 16. Everything fails. What's the damage I'm taking?
So, I rolled 25, but looking at that Radiant Soul, I get to add 5 to one Radiant or Fire damage roll of that spell against one of its targets.
Okay.
So, 25 against everything except the big bulbous thing, that gets an extra 5 points of damage.
So, Vala, as you're sitting there and you're feeling the life kind of getting squeezed out of you, you sit there and at first you can't get your hands free far enough to be able to cast this fireball. So you're kind of writhing against it. And you suddenly, one hand appears. You're like, and the fire comes out. And you see this huge burst, and you just kind of stare at the plant itself. You watch it burst into flames. Unfortunately for Argenta, as the plant bursts into flames, the kind of semi-translucent membrane is the first thing to be burnt away. And so, Argenta, as you're standing there, you get hit with this deluge of a slurry of biomatter and rotting things and fecal matter, and just everything just kind of falls on you. Luckily enough for you, putting out the fire that you've just experienced, but unfortunately covering you in this incredibly disgusting pile of something. And now every bit of exposed skin and a bit of unexposed skin, because it's getting under your clothes, is now itching. Really bad. But as that happens, you watch as the plant itself just kind of falls to the ground, and the vine that was constricting you just kind of incinerates. Everything else just takes 25.
For the record, I took 6.
I could take it. I don't know. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you can.
Meanwhile, you're possibly going to be fighting off hepatitis of some type.
I'm a barbarian. Diseases are thing. It's fine.
Yeah, I had it like 3 days ago. It's perfectly fine. Get some antibiotics. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. The tree thing nearest to you, watching you destroy its parent, is pissed. It's going to run up to you, and it's going to start by just trying to slap you in the face. And it
Fuck,
gets
that tree just ran.
Yeah. They're fast, too. They've got a 30-foot movement speed. It's impressive. Hit you with one of its branches.
The tree had its jacked up on Mountain Dew or something. Come on, kickstart, some bitch!
It actually uses insert product placement here for one of those stupid energy drinks that sponsor all the Twitch streamers. Does a 20 hit your AC?
It does.
So you take 16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And it also tries to kind of strangle you the same way its parent did. That's a nat 20.
I'm right next to, I'm denying that. No.
Well, so here's the thing with the nat 20. This particular attack doesn't do damage. All it does is grapple. So you can deny the nat 20. It doesn't change what it does. So if you want to save that, you could.
Okay. Guess I'll have to think since it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, like I said, it's still a crit, but all it does is it doesn't do double damage or anything, so it has the exact same effect on a crit as it does on a normal hit. So, and I know you have limited uses of that, so that is that. And then as a bonus action, now that it has you kind of wrapped up, it gets closer. You watch as the front of it kind of opens, and now it's going to try to bite you. And it gets a nat 1. Do you want to cancel that one? Yeah, so it tries to bite you, misses completely. It's just like, ah, 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 and you just kind of like have a hand on its head going, nope. That's that. The plant's dead. The two other creatures are actually going to avoid Vala because it smells like mommy. And they're just gonna run up, or they're gonna avoid Argenta, sorry, because it smells like mommy. And they're gonna run up to Vala, but they don't have enough movement to get to him and get to her and do something. So that is them. Relwyn, you're up.
Okay, so I guess I'm going to ask this question. Since obviously the plant life isn't plant life,
Mm-hmm.
did it look like my necrotic damage took hold as much as it should have?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It just, again, the thing that looked weird about it is the damage looked like the damage you would see if you hit something that had flesh and bones.
Okay, because I was going to get the sense, because normally I think in most cases, not to get too meta on this, but most undead usually have at least resistance to
Yeah. As
necrotic
far as you can
damage.
tell, they don't
So,
seem to be undead.
yeah.
Whatever they are, there is a stench of death around them. But they don't seem to be undead as far as you can tell.
The most I can do is like Rowan is not strong. He's gonna try and get this thing that's attacking Vala, so he's going to just simply each creature of my choice. Great. So I will cast Word of Radiance on the creature attacking Vala. It needs to make a saving throw, Constitution 20.
So, oh, cool. This has a nice constitution as well.
Yeah, figures.
Well, got a 15. So, what happens with that?
Word of Radiance. There, roll of damage. Does 14 plus another D8. Because of my particular build. So, total of 18 Radiance.
So, as you guys see, how do you envision like the visual aspects of this spell? How do you envision it working?
Much like his eyes will momentarily, this is a cantrip, very momentarily glow with a kind of an intense blue-gray light, and simply just utter a word of radiance and just it'll simply just look at the creature and just go, "No!"
Get
in
the squirt
defiance.
Get the squirt bottle out. No, bad.
More defiance than admonishment.
So you guys watch as Relwyn is sitting there after Relwyn did the blight last turn. You guys watched as that kind of indigo blue radiated from his surecoat, went down his arm, and you saw the blisters form on the creature. Now you watch as his eyes grow this kind of deep indigo blue, and you see this flash of light, and then the creature that is currently grappling you, Vala, you see it just kind of erupt in this burst of light that seems to burn the skin of this creature. And again, you've burnt plants before. They turn black when you burn them. It looks like the creature starts developing a sunburn. It looks like the roots themselves have like a red rash on them. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
That was action. Let's see if there's anything else I can do. Can't really do anything else right now. Harnessing or anything. I'm just gonna try to stay next to Vala and hope like do what I can by her. So that'll be it for my turn now.
Really quickly, Argenta, I should have mentioned this before. The two tree things would have run past you. So if you wanted to make an attack of opportunity, you could have.
Yeah, she would have.
Go for it then. Now, because this isn't on your turn, you wouldn't have advantage on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were they also on us? I'm sorry. I misunderstood that.
They're all close to you. The other two just had no actions left because they had to dash to get to you guys.
Well, if they were, I'm sorry. So if they were by us, because Word of Radiance, just like spell, each creature of your choice that you can see within range of 5 feet.
Yeah, I'll say you could have gotten awe. Just with the mechanics of where it is, I'll say you could have gotten 2 of them in there. So I'll just make another save.
Yeah.
Which still didn't work. So what was the damage again?
It was 18.
18. So another one takes that damage.
22 to hit.
That misses. Of course it hits. Roll your damage.
12 damage.
12. I will say the one that you hit probably would have chilled next to you, but still had to use its action because I don't want to play with action economy anymore.
Okay.
So you have one next to you, and then the other 2 are...
By Rowan and Bala.
Yeah.
And then I have the flowers next to me?
Yes.
Okay. Whose turn is it?
Oh, it's yours. I'm sorry. I thought I said that. It's your turn.
All right. So the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to what's that called?
Kill them.
I'm gonna mark them with planar warrior.
Okay. So you sit there and kind of fix their place in this plane in your mind, and now there's kind of a beacon pointing you to them.
And then attack recklessly.
Cool. Make your attack rolls.
Natural 20.
Misses. Roll damage.
Denied.
I was just gonna
Aren't you
say.
supposed to deny these things?
D4, D6, 2D8, and double those.
And you got that damn brutal critical.
8. No, I don't have brutal critical because I'm mixed.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting you're mixed.
Right.
Multi-class.
I keep hearing that term. I don't know what that is.
39 points of damage.
All right.
Apparently you have to do that to get 12 cantrips.
All force.
So as you sit there and plunge the knife into this creature, you hear this really high-pitched screaming coming from it. And as you pull it away, you can see this kind of bright purple blood dripping from your blade.
Is it alive or dead?
Oh, it's still alive. It's just very mad at you.
All right.
Do we hear Levi Stubbs cussing us out or anything?
No, but somehow there's a Wilhelm scream. You don't know where. Like, nothing is currently falling, but you just hear, "Ah!"
I will. Yeah, screw it. I'll stab the tree next.
Okay. You're an equal opportunity stabber.
That is a 21 to hit.
And 21 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
13.
13. All right, so as you go and you stab this tree, again, expecting to kind of be stabbing into bark and wood, you put a lot of force on it and are kind of expecting, if you've ever stabbed something into a tree, you kind of get that kind of recoil back into your arm. And so that's what you're expecting. And as you plunge it in, it punches through the skin like it's just tough leather, and then whatever is underneath this bark is very flesh-like. And so as it plunges in, it goes much farther in than you expected, and as you pull it out, it has this strange kind of bright green mucus-colored blood on it.
And between the two that are by Vala and Relwyn, are either of them looking like very bad?
No.
No? Alright, she'll stay there then.
All right. That brings us to Flower's pissed.
Yep.
Like, it is just... Oh, I also need you to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 14. Forgot about that.
29.
Yeah, it was kind of pointless. You're immune to that going forward.
Alright.
Yeah, it's just going to take 3 swings at you. So, first one is 19. And you did Reckless, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That'll hit.
Okay. I'll do the damage in a second here. Second one is 21.
Yep.
Third one is 11.
No.
So you take a total of... Oh, you're resistant.
Yeah,
So-
which split the bludgeoning and the poison.
Okay, so you would take... Each hit does 9 bludgeoning and 10 poison, so that turns to 4 and 5, because you're resistant to both, correct?
I'm only resistant to the bludgeoning, so
Okay,
it's 4 and
so
10, 4 and 10.
4 and 10. So 14 points times 2, so 24 total.
Alright.
That ends that creature's turn. Vala! What you want to do?
The one that is attacking me,
Mm-hmm.
turnabout is fair play. I'm going to hit it with a guiding bolt.
Okay. Because it's in melee and it's an attack roll, this would be made with disadvantage. Because it's a ranged attack made in melee.
Huzzah! My low roll is a 26.
Damn! Okay. Roll damage.
That is 15 radiant.
It is immune to radiant damage now.
Is-
Yeah, so as you sit there and this creature has kind of has like a vine wrapped around your stomach and it's trying to kind of bite you, you just kind of make finger guns at it and go, "Psh," and this burst of bright white light just appears, and you can see again as you hit it, radiant damage to a plant normally make it wither or something. Again, no, it's getting sunburns and blistering and the things like that, just like a human would.
and
Go ahead.
I was going to say, in honor of Pike, that was a guiding bolt up its butt.
Okay. And now it's kind of outlined in like bad special effects from the 80s light. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Nope, that'll be it.
Okay, it's going to attack you, and it is very, very upset with you. So, it's going to slap you with a branch for 16 versus your AC.
Oh, sorry, my AC is 17.
So, branch comes up, and you just kind of go... then it's going to try and nom on you. It's a nat 1. You're supposed to be canceling these things. The other two... Or the other one is going to go for Rowan, which is kind of stupid, but they're not that smart. He's going to swing a branch at your face, Rowan. That'll hit. 15.
No.
And then it's going to try and grapple you. It's better. It's a 19.
That will hit.
Okay. So you're currently grappled, and while you're grappled, it's going to try and nom on you. That's a 16.
No.
Okay. So it has been mostly useless. And then the one next to...
Most of the shit I've been doing has not been relying on me attacking it. Like, so it's like, all right.
Argenta's
No,
a final
no,
one.
no.
He's going to try and slap you in the face.
Okay.
26.
Yep.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's going to try and grapple you with a 27.
Yep.
You were grappled. I forgot to mention this. At the start of your turn, you would have taken 9 bludgeoning damage as it squeezed you from its grapple.
Oh.
And then it's going to try to bite you.
Okay.
Which gets a 25.
Yep.
19 piercing damage as it kind of bites onto your skin, and it has razor sharp teeth.
All right.
Relwyn! What you want to do?
Okay,
you-
well, now,
Did it succeed on its grapple check against you?
it did grapple me, but it didn't manage to do literally anything else to me.
So you do take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as it squeezes you. But that's it.
9 points.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why getting a nat 20 on the grapple attack does nothing, because the damage doesn't come until your turn.
Okay, well, I'll focus on this creature. So how many creatures are around us now?
There are 2 of these tree-looking things. One's grappling you, one's grappling Vala.
Okay.
And
In
then-
that case,
What's her face? Argenta has the flower thing and one of those tree things around her.
he's struggling, but right now it's kind of a futile. It would be futile for him to, like, he's not weak, but he's also not strong. He'll do Word of Radiance again, and he'll cast. So they'll both need to make Constitution 20 saving throws again.
Well, one of them got a nat 20, so one of them saved. The one touching you did not. It got a 4.
Okay. I think it's pretty much, yeah, its saber sucks, so yeah, so just the one takes damage. 16 plus 2. 18 radiant damage.
All right. So again, you guys watch as this kind of burst of light appears from Relwyn's eyes, and then the creature itself gets enveloped. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No. Like literally anything else would. It's either that or radiance, so I chose radiance.
Argenta, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage, halved, from being squeezed ever so slightly. What do you want to do?
She'll mark the flowers of Planar Warrior again.
Okay.
And as she goes to stab at them, she teleports out of the tree's grasp because of distance strike and stabs into it from behind.
Okay. Cool.
So stabbing at the flowers from the other side.
All right.
Didn't know you could backstab a tree.
So you guys
reckless
watch
again.
as Argenta sits there, and you can see her focusing on these flowers, and then suddenly, as she lifts her dagger, zoop, she disappears and reappears on the other side of the flower, and you can just see the tree. It doesn't really have like a face; it just has like a mouth hole. But even without a face, you can just see it going, "The fuck!" And then Argenta stabs the flower. I'm assuming.
19 to hit.
Yeah, it's an AC of 12, so. Surprisingly enough, flowers not super hard to attack. It's kind of weird, right?
So 4, 7, 12, 18, 23 points of damage.
All right.
Is it still up?
Yep. This is a tough set of flowers.
Oh wait, sorry, that's 2d8. Add 6 more to that.
Okay. Still up. It's a really tough flower.
I'll attack it again.
Go for it.
And this time, as I stab, I teleport again so that I'm engaged with both of them again.
Okay. All right.
I
You
don't
guys are
want it
just
to get
watching Argenta go full on night crawler, like
That's a 17 to hit.
something cool. You fail. No, it's a hit. Roll damage. Guys, he's doing this with a dagger. It's a D4 of damage.
9 plus 5, 14.
All right, it's still up.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, it is mad at you. It is going to attack you 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
First one, and did you reckless those?
Yeah.
Okay, so first one is, I rolled 15 twice. That's hilarious. First one's a 20.
Yep.
Second one is a 19.
Yep.
Third one is a 24.
Yep. So 14 3 times.
Yep.
All
So
right.
that's what, 36, if my math works?
42.
14, 3 times. You're totally right, and I'm totally wrong.
All right.
Cool. Wow, I really can't add. That's impressive. That ends its turn. Vala, what you want to do? Also take, what was it? 9 points of bludgeoning damage as it continues to squeeze.
This could be bad.
I mean, only for you. It's having a great time.
So lucky I don't have any more bardic inspiration left. I will cast Toll the Dead.
Well, it says it's not dead yet, and it wants to take a walk in the park. Is that a save?
That is a wisdom saving throw, please.
These guys are super wise. Yeah, totally. They have a wisdom of 10. What am I aiming for? Well, it's a 2, so it doesn't matter.
About 17 more than that.
What's your
It
damage?
will 23.
It's immune to bell damage. Yeah, so as you sit there and it's squeezing you tighter and tighter, you sit there and focus, and you guys hear this loud kind of dong.
I will say, Paula, you rolled d8s instead of
I-
d12s.
I just saw that.
Okay, so do you want to re-roll it? What was the damage you did?
It was 23 on 4d8s. You know what? I'm gonna tempt fate.
So do for is it 40? Oh, because you're level freaking
Good-
17.
25 points.
It's still alive, bitch. So yeah, you guys watch as it goes dong, and you watch as the skin of this tree kind of vibrates. You watch as cracks start appearing in the bark, and you can see this kind of pudgy flesh underneath starting to poke through that has this weird kind of sickly green mucus-like blood starting to leak out of it. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I don't think so.
Then die! No. So it's the tree's turn. The tree is pissed at you. It is like, it knows it's about dead. Doesn't care. It's going to take you with it. So you're going to start by slapping you in the face with this branch. That's
I want it to
a
hit.
28.
That will hit.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool. And I will use my reaction to do Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. It's a dex save, right?
It is a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
19.
We rolled a 12, and I think they have a negative dex. No, they have a 0 dex. So roll your damage.
22.
Does your fire thing also apply to that?
I believe that is already included. Because it's 2d10 plus 5, and I've got 5 as the bonus damage.
So you sit there, it slaps you with the branch, you watch as fire just envelops the thing and it burns itself to death.
Thank God.
You
I have-
asshole.
I have 12 hit points left.
Okay, so this is important. So the creature died. That was
It did.
okay. I've put it in chat. It's called Keeper of Souls. Now, narratively, this say starting at 17th level, you can seize a trace of vitality from a parting soul and use it to heal a living creature. When an enemy you can see within 60 feet of you dies, that is within 60 feet of me, you or someone I choose can regain hit points equal to the enemy's number of hit dice.
Okay, well, it had 8 hit dice. So if I'm reading it correctly, I'm
That's 8
assuming
hit
you're going
points.
to make Vala regain 8 hit points?
Yes.
Okay. That is a very cool feature.
Woohoo!
And it's not even a reaction. That could be broken.
It's no
very
action.
quickly.
I can only do it once per turn though.
Still, it's very, very
Yeah.
nice. Or you can only do it once
per
per round.
Turn.
Because it's once you use it, you can't do so again until the start of your next turn.
Start of my next turn. Yes.
Yeah, so once per round. Still very useful. I like that. The one that's got you is going to try to attack you. So that's a 22 versus AC.
Yes.
16 points of bludgeoning damage. And then it's going to try to nom on you for 18 versus AC.
That beats it.
Okay, so you take 19 points of piercing damage. And then the tree next to Argenta is pissed, is going to start with its grasping root attack because it doesn't like how you left its roots.
Mhm.
So, 22 versus AC?
Yep.
Okay, you're grappled. First branch attack is... Wow, a 4 and a 3. 12? No, 13, sorry. 13 versus your AC?
Nope.
Okay, and then it's going to try to nom on you. Oh, wow. My high roll is an 18.
Nope.
Yeah! But it's hugging you. I mean, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Relwyn, take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as it squeezes you. Oh, so tight.
Still up. Literally nothing else I can do. Gonna do Word of Radiance on it. Like, actually, you know what? It's not very wise. I'm gonna do Toll the Dead instead.
Okay.
Potential to do more damage. Wisdom of 20.
No. It has a wisdom bonus of 0, so the only way it saves is a nat 20. And
You've
you've
been growing decent.
No, I rolled a 9.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
Yeah, no, it died.
4d12.
What? This is the start of Relwyn's turn, right?
Yes, it is.
Which means he can use that again.
Yep.
If he kills it. He has to kill something for that to happen.
Well,
No,
because it already took damage, so now I'm rolling d12s instead. That's the reason why I chose Toll the Dead, and it was just one creature. So that, plus I still a cantrip, get my bonus on that too, so 34 points of damage.
As you guys hear another one of these dong, you watch as, again, the vibrations go throughout the entire creature, and it just kind of bursts like a hot dog being cooked too long and bursting out of its casing, and it just falls down dead. Who would you like to give hit points to?
Me! I got 7 right now! Me!
So it has 8 hit die. Yeah. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Cry! It's a free action!
Argenta,
Planar Warrior on the flowers.
take 9 points of bludgeoning damage first.
Okay. Planar Warrior on the flowers. Teleport to their, left side this time. And
You are
Reckless.
learning new words in whatever language this plant tree thing speaks. You're certain all of these new words are 4 letters long.
Reckless attack. 24 to hit the flowers.
Yeah. Again, AC of 12 on the flowers. You would really have to try hard to miss.
5, 8, 10, 14. 20 damage. Force.
And as you plunge your knife in one last time, you can see the entire plant starts getting bigger and bigger, and you watch as more of the vines from around this area just start kind of gathering, and it gets to 6 feet tall, then 10 feet tall, 12, 14, 16, and then the entire thing just collapses in this large pile. And it's dead. You
What?
asshole. It had exactly 20 hit points.
And then I look at the big tree.
Mm-hmm.
Teleport right back in front of it to stab it.
Well, you're fired. Make your attack roll.
26 to hit it.
Definitely hits. Roll the damage.
13.
All right. Anything else you want to do? You want a pony?
That's my action bonus action, so no, I'm good.
Cool. Vala, what you wanted to do?
I am going to, as a bonus action, use my 2 of my remaining healing light die to heal Relwyn.
Okay.
So I believe that's 2d6. That's 4 more hit points.
What did you roll?
Apparently, like a 1 and a 3 or 2
Yeah.
2s.
Yeah. Yep.
There's not that many combinations that can get you 4.
Right. So with that, are there any more trees near us, or
Just the one that's attacking Argenta.
I'm thinking Toll the Dead.
It's deaf. What is it again? It's a deck save, whiz save?
Wisdom saving throw.
Well, it got a 10.
Yeah, sorry, that's not enough. And it's taken some damage, I believe.
It has.
Cool.
Most of the damage it's taken has been pride damage because no matter what it does, it can't keep a hold of Argenta.
29 points of necrotic.
You're kidding me.
I kid thee not.
No, the reason I say that is describe your victory, claim your kill. It had exactly 29 hit points.
Vala just starts like air guitaring. For whom the bell tolls.
You're
You
doing
guys have
interludes.
no idea where the guitar came from, but you swear you can see like a full like flamethrower axe kind of thing, and suddenly you just watch these bells, these kind of spectral bells, just kind of coming out of it, very similar to like the bass battle from Scott Pilgrim. See this D D D D D D D D D D D D D D. And you watch as they just start hitting it and just peeling away bits of this plant until there's nothing left of it. We can stop that music. We can start that music. As you guys all look around, the kind of overwhelming stench of the area is still there, but it doesn't seem quite as strong unless you get close to Argenta. The kind of central plant itself is kind of collapsed in on itself, but you guys can see that the thing that kind of leaked on Argenta, there's still kind of a cavity there. It's just all floppy and collapsed. Anything you guys want to... Go ahead.
Just to be clear, because some of the nasty reaction stuff that was happening to Argenta, were Argenta poisoned at all?
He's not poisoned, but his skin is itching, and you guys are starting, like, if you get close enough to see him, you can see that he's starting to develop a kind of slight rash anywhere where that stuff is still touching his skin.
I mean, I'd be immediately getting my water skin to just start pouring.
And can I use prestidigitation to help clean some of this up?
Yeah. It takes a little while. And basically, anytime it is removed from his skin, he has kind of what look like very mild chemical burns anywhere where it was. But they don't seem to be doing anything other than being unpleasant at the moment. And with a combination of the water and the prestidigitation, it looks like they're not getting any worse. But it's probably going to take a little bit of time for those to clear up. Just because, no worse than like a mild sunburn kind of thing.
Okay. I don't know about the rest of you, but we need to rest.
Rowan throws up.
Um,
There's just no way that doesn't happen at this point. Because keep in mind, this is the same day, so Rowan's had his shit rocked.
Yes.
Just kind of before that happens, getting like I'm assuming there's an actual stick in this garden that can be grabbed.
Sure.
She'll just kind of rummage in that cavity.
Okay. Looking around, you do find a fair amount of items in there, or pieces of items. You find bits of leather that have been kind of mostly dissolved into being unrecognizable as far as what they used to be a part of. But some of it is thicker like armor. Other bits of it are a little bit thinner, so it looks more like leather clothing. And then you also find a ring that is heavily pitted now. But if you look at it, it's a signet ring, and it's the ring itself is very small for a signet ring.
Huh.
Hmm.
Looks like it was given a bunch of corpses, probably whole.
Yeah. Somebody trying to dispose of something. I mean, does the symbol on the signet ring look familiar to anything we've seen here?
You would recognize it as the signet ring of the family that inhabited the house, the courier.
So this was maybe the wife's ring.
The children's.
Would it be, because you said it was small? Would it be like
Yeah,
a child's or
children generally wouldn't be given signet rings because the purpose of the signet ring is effectively to be a signature. And children in general would never be signing anything; their parents would. So if you had to guess, this ring would be it's too small, or it's almost too small to fit on your fingers, and you have relatively delicate fingers. So this would have been you would guess that it probably belonged to someone who's very kind of slim built with small hands. More likely than not the wife from the pictures that you guys have seen throughout the house.
So they killed the entire family, and by this armor, maybe the guards?
possibly? Hmm. Well, I don't think we should be discussing this in the open.
No, let's find a place.
Well, as soon as we find someplace, I think I could just cast Lehman's tiny hut. We can camp out someplace.
Or you
Or do
guys
we want to find a hotel room somewhere?
as I say, you guys are in a city. It's like a 20-minute walk to where the actual city is.
Okay.
We'll still be taking watches, but yes, we might as well. Won't be just as safe, really. Most of the people seem very apathetic. If there's anyone else that's more hostile enough to try to attack us, it definitely wouldn't be the townsfolk. It'd be somebody else.
So what are you guys doing?
I guess we're getting a room.
Okay. So as you go in, they charge you a silver piece a head. And did you guys want multiple rooms or a single room?
Oh, I think a single room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do they have that same apathetic energy as...
yeah. Everyone here is very kind of neutral. Is the best term for it. They're not like sullen or anything like that. They just don't have any positive energy. They don't have any negative energy. They're just kind of neutral. Kind of very NPC kind of vibe. As you guys get into the room and are bedding down, you do hear a knock on the door. Probably about 20 or 30 minutes after you guys get in there. And if you answer the door, it is a woman with a tray with some food on it. Would you like dinner? The chef has prepared a wonderful meal.
Yes, thank you.
Here
I
you
will
are.
take the tray. And then I will just, oh, thank you. And then, like, close the door.
Rowan
Yeah,
is
walk
have
away.
enough
Take it over to the trash and just...
Well, we can expect the food.
Okay. If you look it over, you have something that is relatively biscuit-like and boiled meat. And if anyone is brave enough to try it, it doesn't seem like poison, but there is no flavor.
No, I'm good.
I'll make something after the rest.
Yeah,
Follow.
for Relwyn with his chef feet, this is an atrocity. They have ruined, because it's boiled chicken, and like it was a beautiful cut of chicken that they just slapped. They took the skin off, they took the fat off, and just dropped it in boiling water.
It's kind of ironic because there would be some overlap wise when Stephen Fry played he retired as a psychiatrist for the FBI, and then he became a chef, and he was at a diner, and he was just like, honestly, what were they doing here? This isn't like I'm not this isn't
So
this is Coco this is Coco Van Gogh. This isn't lay down. I hate everything.
So there's enough beds for you all to be able to sleep, and even with a watch, nothing really happens. However, that is unfortunately where we are going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channels, youtube.com/TutorTrainerJody. Check it out there. I'm also daily vlogging currently, and right now I am just kind of focused on game design and things about various RPGs that I enjoy. So check it out. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today, and I'll see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.